how do I describe what I'm feeling right now? I am so divine. I am so divine. I am happy. This is like new love, new appreciation for myself. All right, in art therapy, my professor asked me to draw something that symbolizes what blocks me from my creativity, and then turn that block into something that is beautiful. Like, what is the solution? This is what I drew. Whoa, okay. Come on. It's lighting booty. I introduced it to the class, and I started saying it looks abstract, but it's not. One of the biggest blocks that I have to me and my creativity is just fear. And I was explaining to the class that any of these shapes that I see, they're simple. They're simple shapes. It just looks overwhelming. It feels overwhelming when you're interacting with this fear. Fear from what makes me stop posting or stop creating or stop from beginning a piece of art, or when I actually begin, stop from continuing a piece of art or stop from finishing a piece of art. And it's like every step of the way, I always stop myself. Something in my mind, there's always a block. Okay. Any of these fears that I have, whether it comes from fear of judgment, fear of being perceived, fear of being celebrated because I don't think that I'm worth celebrating, fear of just like not thinking that I'm good enough or not thinking that it's perfect enough or whatever. All of these shapes symbolize something within that fear, worry, stress, anxiety. And when it comes to me sharing and expressing and creating, the shapes never change. To me, in my head, I see it as like a moving picture where the shapes just like, they rearrange itself, but they never contort into something else. It just is what it is. I will always have a fear of not being perfect. I will always have a fear of being perceived. I will always have a fear of being judged. I will always have a fear of, is this good enough? So at first it was just this picture, right? And I didn't have any of the words. I didn't have the yellow. I didn't have the frame, whatever. But when she asked about the solution, all I did was just draw yellow in the background. I outlined it in hot pink and I added some hearts. I said that I don't want to do the same things that I did in the past, where I blamed myself for being like this, for having these fears and having these worries, anxieties, stress, whatever. And I keep blaming myself for my fear. And I dismiss it and I tell myself that I'm being stupid and I'm being irrational and why are you thinking like that and why aren't you stronger and blah, 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 blah. But if I just keep bashing myself for having these fears, why would that make me feel better? So it feels like the only thing I can do is just shine light on my fears and my worries and try to understand it. Like, sure, it might seem irrational for me to have these fears when it comes to creating now because I'm a full-fledged adult. I am 22 years old. But if my body is telling me that it does not feel safe in its environment to share and to express, then maybe I should listen to it. I should listen to it because it is a part of me. Maybe it isn't me in the present self that is speaking. Maybe it's me and my inner child who needs to be comforted, who was stuck in that environment. There's something in my brain that is still attached to that past, thinking that, no, we can't express. No, we can't be seen. We need to hide ourselves. We need to be small. So what am I gonna do? Am I gonna hate myself for feeling scared to be myself? Or am I going to try to comfort myself? Try to transmute that pain, turn it into power, do more, and expand, but also understand. This is what I started writing before I made this video right here. I consent for the universe to allow me to be seen by the world. I consent for the universe to allow me to be heard by the world. I consent for the universe to allow myself to be praised. I consent for the universe to allow myself to be celebrated. I consent for the universe to allow myself to be perceived. The universe pops in and says, you have lived this life purposely. You have created this life intentionally. This life is knowledgeable. This life contains wisdom, not only for yourself, but for others. You are a teacher. You have recognized the power of your voice. You have awakened others to their true gift. You have connected the collective in the cosmos. Trust yourself. Trust this to be true. Know that you serve a purpose, one that is valuable and worthy of love, patience, attention, awareness, and kindness. You must take pride in the things which you know. You must take pride in the things which you have gone through. This is your truth. Do not allow others to strip you of your experience. This is your life. This is your purpose. You are deemed worthy simply because you are alive. Your well of knowledge is untapped, unmatched. You are singular, unique, prime within your time. Do not neglect your divinity. Love thyself. Praise thyself. Celebrate thyself. I know who I am in truth. I know what I am in truth. I know why I serve in truth. Okay. And then what I started writing on this, it just feels good to write on pen and paper, by the way, but whatever. I am the problem and the solution. This challenge is a part of the creation itself. Purpose is waiting for me. Renew your energy. Change the course. The path is happiness, not a perceived physical. Detach from the material. Divinity of the soul over perfection of the ego. Your soul knows where to go. Trust it, yourself. The universe is in alignment within you. Everything is working out best case scenario. I am a vessel. I contain the universe within me. I am in control. There's an infinite intelligence within me. When just looking at this, I don't draw like this. When I draw, it's like not in flow at all. I feel like I stop myself every step of the way before I do something because I have to make it perfect. And perfect meaning like fucking shapes perfect. Oh, this is beautiful. What the fuck? I used to hate this. But now I love it. Isn't it weird how you can fucking do that? You make something and then you think that it's ugly and then weeks later you think that it's beautiful? That's what I mean. That is power. You have the power to create the feeling of hate and then convince yourself of that hate. Even though feelings are temporary, emotions change, this shall pass. You have the power to perceive your reality and change your perception. And now, all of a sudden, when I'm looking this, I am in love with it. It is beautiful. I'm so done with the unhealthy ego, but I understand and I support her. I am in love with this. The shapes aren't perfect, the lines aren't incredibly straight, but I love it. Like, this is probably like the most emotion that I have ever felt towards anything that I have ever created in my life. And that's insane because I did it so fast. I created this in like 30 minutes. And it takes me hours to do everything else that I'm like, oh, it looks good. No, I still like it. I still like this a lot. Look at that shape. That's beautiful. Oh my fuck. Whoa. I can do both. I just need to love anything that I create and just like, it is okay. And it's crazy to me that this isn't like bothering my OCD. It just is what it's supposed to be. And it makes sense. And it's still beautiful to me. This is so different for me, guys. Like, I seriously, you guys, I don't know if you guys understand how mind blown I am that I like this and it isn't perfect. Like, this is the first time that I've ever experienced divinity of the soul over perfection of the ego. This is literally divinity of the soul over perfection of the ego. I used to fucking hate this. I really disliked this at some point. Like, but I like it so much now. The mind is so fucking weird. Okay. Goodbye, y'all. That's what I had to say. All right, guys. Choose love. Choose light. Choose compassion, choose kindness, patience, awareness, choose yourself, choose to face the unknown, the parts that make you uncomfortable, because as soon as you find a barrier, it's not like if you ignore it and you repress it that it isn't there, it's still there, but you can just decide to look away. But why not face it? Why not break down the barrier and then do something else? Okay. Thanks guys, I was having a great time. Goodbye.